For those of you that want to VOD review your own gameplay and be able to figure out where you're making mistakes, gunfights and knowing if a gunfight is good for you or bad for you is super essential. In this video, we're going to teach you exactly what to look for so you can know if you have the advantage or disadvantage in a gunfight.
I put over I think 30 hours each week on aim training alone.
Did you say 30 hours of aim training? Bro. Where do you fit it in, man? That's a full-time job, almost.
Yeah, I sleep 4 hours a day only.
Clearly the aim training's working.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think you're overdoing it on the aim training, man. 30 hours is crazy. Like, what is it that you're doing for 30 hours?
I do the NATS routine 5 times.
The NATS routine is probably done one time.
I want to reach a level like Leo.
If you want to get to the level of Leo, he didn't sit there for 30 hours aim training. He played the game and learned how to play it properly. If you think about it, let's take your aim. And let's say that you're equatable to Leo, which is probably pretty true because aim really has a ceiling, and most people are interchangeable at the top. But the difference between them and you is that they know how to take gunfights better. They know how to peak angles better. They know when to time their peaks better. So they're diffing you not on raw aim and the ability to move your mouse across the screen. They're diffing you on positioning. They're diffing you on timing.
If you look at Leo's stats, if you put him in a fair fight, he still has a 10% higher chance of winning that fight.
Bullshit. If you take a 50% of the time, you lose the fight. So what does that tell you? If he is beating people statistically, is he taking a 50-50 fight or is he taking a 70-30?
70-30.
Absolutely. So you can sit there shooting dots all day, all you want, but if you're taking 10 90s in favor of them being the 90, you being the 10, I don't care if you're Leo. Leo's losing that fight too. If we looked at Leo, we can literally just look at his gunfights and say, that was 60-40 for him. That was 70-30 for him. You can take this VOD and watch the first 5 rounds, and I'll tell you exactly who had the advantage in every single gunfight. Let's say, for example, you're standing right here, and a person peeks you. Is that a 50-50? No. Why? They have peeker's advantage. They're going to see you before you see them. Even if you have perfect crosshair placement, they still are able to get the first shot on you. So is it legitimate 50-50? No. So this gunfight here, is it advantage you or advantage to them? Advantage is for the peeker, right? So you're the peeker. Yeah. What do you think your chances of winning this out of 10?
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10? I can agree with that. I think probably 6 is probably fair. 6 out of 10, you should probably win this. Now, here's the thing. They're on eco. If you take that fight, you're evening out the odds a little bit more. I'm not going to say it's a 5 out of 10, but you're making it pretty close. So I say 6 out of 10 is fair. You don't need to take this fight, okay? Yeah. You have the advantage slightly again here, okay?
Yeah.
Where the advantage kind of dissipates a little bit is if this person was closer to breach and saw exactly how you killed him on the line, so they're ready for you. Correct. Right. That one is not a 6 out of 10. That one's a 5 out of 10, okay? So it's a fight, again, that's not necessary as well when we look to the top of the screen. I'd rather you info peek that. Let's talk about this fight. Who has the advantage?
I do.
Yeah, so you peek out, you're able to get the shot off, you can fall back, and then you re-peek again. And now I'd say you probably have a 9 out of 10 chance to win this, right, on the second peek. This is advantageous for you. Immediately what I would do is if this person swings you here, I'd fall behind cover and I'd peek the exact same way you did, or not peek at all and wait for my teammate to take contact then. So exactly what you just did there, that was the right move. You fell back behind it and you jiggle peek it for information again. Okay, so this one here. Let's pretend there's someone on this angle right here. Vandal, chances of winning that fight.
5 out of 10.
Brother, you have to shoot them twice. I don't care if you have peeker's advantage. You have to hit them twice in the head or twice in general. Right, one head, one body. They had to shoot you once. Abyss Knight says 2 out of 10. I think that's generous still, 2 out of 10. I would say it's 1 out of 10. Here's how you can make this simple for yourself. I don't care who the quality of the opponent is. Like, if you're playing against diamonds, I'm sure you could diff them like 4 out of 10 times, right? With this gun. I'm sure it's possible. However, what I want you to think about is you're playing against 10s. 10s is on this angle. Does 10s diff you 9 out of 10 times? Probably, right?
10 out of 10, yeah.
I would say 9 out of 10 is safe. Okay, because there's always a chance he's human, he can make mistakes too. The point is that if this person's an aimbot and he has a vandal and you have a sheriff on this line, I don't care how good you are, right? It's not gonna, more often than not, it's not gonna go well for you.
Mollis, can you pillar? Yeah. Push up.
How many times out of 10 do you win this fight?
Oh, I win 10 out of 10. Because I'm really good at the pickers. I like people picking me.
B says 3 out of 10. Hyper reality Unreal is 2 out of 10. Prim is 3 out of 10. Sunblinded 2 out of 10. Abyss 3 out of 10. Alexa 2 out of 10. Flaming 2 out of 10. I think a high-end number could probably be a 4. And the reason for it is because Speaker's Advantage. I think 60-40 in favor of them is probably safe. You've got to see Peeker's Advantage, man. You got to see how much of an advantage it is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you physically cannot even see them. By the time you've actually saw them, even if your reaction time's really fast, they've already shot you. That's how crazy it is. So if they whiff, then it will throw off this number, right? And you've been playing against people that haven't been that great, right? If I threw you into a lobby full of immortals and you had this peak over and over and over again, you know, then you have to really judge it, which is why I'm saying, again, relate this to tens, right? For them, what would they need to do in a 2v1 situation? They have to push you there. They have to fight. They have to look for that frag to even it up, right? Here's why I like this fight. You're in a 1v4 and you're trying to make something work. Love that. Out of 10, how many times do you think you win this fight?
6 out of 10 because I have
I'd say you have 6 out of 10. Guess what?
But I didn't have info, so I kind of put my crosshair in the middle.
Yeah, which makes it harder, right? If you don't have info, you have to take a guess, right? In this situation here, 6 out of 10, you win it. Guess what happened? 1 of the 4 happened. So they won the 40% fight. Perfect. Happens. 60% is not 100% of the time.
And there was also breach there, so I won that, but lost the next one.
Correct. Yeah, but you had to do what you did. I loved everything that you did there because you had to make something happen. And if you ended up by some miracle getting both of them, we're back in the driver's seat that round. Chance that you can win. Okay, so let's take a look at this fight.
30 seconds left.
That's as close. That's another close 50-50 at that point, I'd say. So you're taking a coin flip when you win the round in 28 seconds. Think about that. Why take a coin flip when we've already won? When you're playing the game, you have protocol that tells you to do things. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. It tells you what you need. How does this person win?
By playing 1v1s.
If you die here, they get that bomb, they can open this door and plant that bomb, and these guys are in butt nowhere. They now have a chance. If you die, they have a chance. So you taking this 50-50, if you didn't win it, I'd be like, right? So if you have to say, it's probably a bad fight, right? Regardless of it being slightly in your favor or slightly not in your favor, it's a fight that you just don't need to take. I'll give you an example in this gunfight. Because of everything that happens and how you're popping your utility and they swing you, how many times out of 10 do you win this gunfight?
2, 1 maybe.
1 out of 10. Well, guess what? Your number just came up. Why? Because they made a mistake. When you're watching your own VODs, do this exact thing that we're doing here today. And this will help you so much with understanding things like this, right? Because, like, listen, you can shoot dots till the sun goes down. If you're in a disadvantaged fight, I don't care how many hours you put into aim training, you're not saving yourself. It's over.